A few years pass and we're now at the turn of the 21st century. This period will be remembered as the days of the plagues. One such plague was Code Red, a worm that exploited a vulnerability in Microsoft web servers to deface affected websites. Notice how the main activity of the Morris worm and the worms we're now discussing spread themselves. This was their basic payload. They were released to breed and infect more and more machines. Damaging actions, if there were any, Code Red launched them about every 3 weeks, resulted in the defacement of some web pages. This was simply to manifest their presence. This is a crucial moment. This was the goal of the creators of these worms. Other than Code Red, this type of worm includes Nimba. Nimba is relevant to our analysis because it's a virus that distributed itself through a number of propagation techniques, by exploiting software errors, but also by social engineering, which we'll discuss later. What were the effects of the Nimba outbreak? 2 million infected computers in just 3 days. While it would seem like an imposing feat, it was quickly surpassed by CLES, another mass mailing virus which was released on the internet and went around the world in 2.5 hours. The record held by CLES was beaten by the SQL Slammer. The Slammer attacked vulnerabilities in a service of Microsoft SQL Server, a popular database system. The worm was so effective partially because it targeted computers through UDP. It took it about 10 minutes to infect 90% of vulnerable servers. In this time, the number of infected hosts doubled every 8.5 seconds. Even though UDP is a lightweight protocol with very small header and offers only minimal transport service, the outbreak has in fact resulted in internet outage. Banks had to shut down cash machine networks and airlines had to cancel flights. Global communication was impeded or even blocked due to one virus that spread as fast as possible in the infrastructure of the day. If the infrastructure had been faster, the results would have been even more staggering. The past several years have been an era of cybercrime. This is the key point of interest for us. 2005 is a sort of threshold here, or it's usually considered as such because it's the year in which the Zotob virus spread. Zotob is lesser known than the worms we've discussed before, as it was not widely reported in the press and mass media. We know now that it was the first virus which was commissioned. In other words, it was written for money. Commissioning an order is not usually an exercise in charity. If you pay money for something, you expect your investment to pay off. The virus was commissioned to steal data from a specific company by installing a Trojan horse. Where did we start? We started with a joke, or with an outlet for Robert Morris's creativity, and we ended up with Zotob, a virus that no one even pretended to masquerade as a harmless program that measures the internet or anything of the sort. This was a worm created to make money. This marks a very significant shift for us. What are the consequences of this change? The first is that media is more reluctant to report on computer system security. Several years ago, before 2005, we the public were regularly fed with information on new global-scale virus outbreaks. Recently, there's a lot less stories or news on computer security in the media. Does it mean that we're generally more secure now? Or that people stopped writing viruses? Or perhaps systems nowadays have been safeguarded so that viruses can't spread? No, unfortunately not. Quite the opposite. Viruses nowadays aren't created for publicity. Coders who create viruses don't seek fame, they try to earn their bread. Writing viruses is now a job. This means that in recent years, from 2005 onward, is the time when big money entered the world of computer systems and changed it forever. This is by no means a revolutionary new era.